Why, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a video showing you how I color flowers and leaves in the World of Flowers coloring book. So I will be coloring with you guys out of the World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. And I think I'm going to start out with the title page, just demonstrating how I color leaves and flowers in this coloring book. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. All right, guys, so today I will be using my Prismacolor color pencils to color in this lovely coloring book of World of Flowers. I definitely need to get a second copy of this book because I already see I plan on finishing this book in the year 2021, or hopefully. I'm such a slow colorist, but there are some very beautiful pages in this book. So I'm just going to start out with the title page and go from there. So I will be zooming you guys in so that you can get a closer picture, so that you can get a closer view of what I'm coloring. So usually I always start off with my color chart. I absolutely need color charts in order to function. I'm a color chart kind of girl. So I think I will be starting off with the leaves in this picture. And I think my first color will be, I usually color from dark to light. So I'll explain what I'm doing as I go through coloring this picture. All right, so let's get started. So first and foremost, I am going to be using the Green Grass pencil, PC 909 by Prismacolor, as my first pencil, as my darkest color. It's not really going to be my darkest color that I do like my shadows with, but it's the darkest color that I'm going to start off with. So, like I said, I usually color from dark to light. Now, there are times where I color from light to dark, and you might see a little bit of that in this video as I go on, because I kind of like varying. I like trying new things, and I'm here to tell you that in this coloring journey that we all are embarking on, there's no right way, there's no wrong way that a person colors. Every way is the right way because it's your coloring page, all right? Now my next color is apple green that I'm going with. That's color number 2. And I kind of like to stick with 2 colors when I'm doing my blending. I kind of like to do the 2 colors for the most part. Sometimes I'll do 3, but I don't usually go over 3 colors in my blend. So yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I go from light to dark, not light to dark. I usually go from dark to light. This is my last color. I'm going to use the yellow chartreuse, and that really brings out, that's like my blender pencil that I use to blend everything together. So here I am back with green grass, and I'm going to do that same, combination. So, if you're looking for, I'm going to start recording, like taking notes of my different color combinations so that I can give them to you guys, because I know that you guys really I get asked that all the time. What are your color combinations? We have apple green again. They're like, what's your color combinations for this or that? And I'm like, I don't know. I just pick a pencil. I look at my color chart. I see which colors will blend together the best, and then I just roll with it. But I know a lot of you, to make it even easier, it would be nice to say, okay, I use these 3 colors on this page. So I'm going to start, notating my color combinations for you guys. We're back at yellow chartreuse. So I go from dark to light, and I kind of do like a heavy layer. We're back with the green grass. I do like a heavy layer, and then I kind of get a little bit lighter as I go further up towards the next color that I'm going to transition to. Then with the next color, I go over the like lighter area, or either I'll go over like the whole area. I'll do the same thing with that color, the second color. I'll go heavy at the bottom, coming up, go a little bit lighter so that it can blend more seamlessly. Now we have our yellow short, Now we have our yellow chartreuse again. Oh my goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied, guys. So that's the color that I'm going to do all of those leaves. I might change it up a little bit as we go a little bit further, but we'll see. So we're just coloring and doing that and just doing what we need to do. So how are you guys doing today? What are you up to today besides coloring? What are you going to do after you're done coloring? Well, I'm going to go take a nap. I know you're like, Nisi, you're always taking naps. What is wrong with you? I don't know. I just like to sleep. Sleeping is so fun because you get to dream. And in your dreams, unless you're having a nightmare, you have so much fun in your dreams because you can do things that you can never do in person. So I like dreaming. I usually have pretty nice dreams. So what I'm doing with the little flowers, I use the green grass and I use the yellow chartreuse because I wanted there to be a very, very, very distinct contrast between the two. Okay. I didn't want, you to mistake those teeny tiny flowers for the same colors as the bigger flowers. So that's what I did there. Now I'm going to take my dark green and kind of do a little bit of shadowing, or not shading, it's shadowing. I just watched a video that was like, what's the difference between shading and shadows? I was like, I don't know. I just color. And they explained it and I was like, okay, I don't need all of that. That's okay. I'm just adding a dark area. That's all. All right, so we're doing some shadowing. I don't know what it is. Anyway, we're adding a darker color so it can look like whatever's behind that other flower is behind that other flower, okay? All right, there you go. We got it. Then I'm going to just give like the little stems, a little something, something. But that's good. That's good enough. Looks okay. Fine. It's fine. Let's go back to our green grass and work on these other leaves. So, yeah. What do you usually do when you're coloring? Comment below and let me know. Do you usually watch YouTube videos like you're coloring with your bud while you're coloring? Do you watch TV usually while you're coloring? Or do you use music? You have music playing while you're coloring, or you have like an ebook playing. Now we have our yellow chartreuse. Why do I have such a hard time saying that word today? Yellow chartreuse. Maybe I need to say it kind of country. Chartreuse. That's better. My Mississippi roots come out. All right, so what do you usually do when you're coloring? Do you usually, we have our dark green again. And we're going to kind of do some shading. Or is it shadows? I need to go watch the video again. Because I like using the right terms for things. But anyway, I thought they were the same thing. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an artiste. I'm not an art teacher. So I'll get it right for you guys. But what do you usually do when you're coloring? I love listening to music while I'm coloring. Or like listening to like nature sounds. that's like relaxing and I can focus on my coloring. Yeah, that's just entertaining for me. I don't really like watching television, or I don't like just like having a TV on while I'm coloring. And I don't really like watching YouTube videos while I'm coloring because I want to give my undivided attention to whatever YouTube video I'm watching. I mean, I want to have my eyes glued on whatever is going on the TV. And that's the same for me when it comes to like just basically watching television. I need to see what's going on. I can't multitask. That just does not work for me. So I miss too much. And I get to saying, rewind it, or what did they say, or what happened? And then my husband gets like irritated at me. He'd be like, you should have been paying attention. And I'm like, Arr. Anyway, so yeah, but let me tell you guys, I have recently purchased 2 mandala books. I recently told you guys, well, not recently, but I know if you've been following my channel for a while, you would know that I'm not, and I threw a little curveball in there on you guys. I'm using the apple green because I didn't like the way that blend was going with that, was it dark green I was using? No. Yeah, I don't know what I was using. Anyway, it wasn't going right. So now I'm getting the dark green and do a little bit of that shading. Anyway, if you've been with my channel for a while, you would know that I previously did not like mandala books or mandala images. I didn't like coloring them. I just didn't like them. And that was at the beginning of my journey. I realized 6 months in, a year in, I don't like mandalas. So recently, 3 years later, I realized I need mandala books in my life. I need some mandalas in my life because they are the perfect books and images to like multitask things with, like watch TV, have a conversation, watch, YouTube videos, because I don't have to concentrate on what I'm doing. I don't have to concentrate so hard on what I'm doing. And just in case your head was down while you were coloring and not looking at the screen, I done changed, leaves. So we got another color combination going on here. Oh, we got the dark green going here and the apple green. Those 2 colors are what we're using for these little string bean looking, lima bean looking leaves. So these leaves look like lima bean shells or what do you call those peas? Snow pea shells. They look just like a snow pea. Anyway, get back on subject. Okay. So yeah, I got me some mandala books so that I can watch TV while I color or do something else while I color. I don't have to be so strictly focused on what I'm coloring. I can just lay color down on the page. And I've been seeing all these beautiful pictures. Okay, now we've switched over to Goldenrod. I've been seeing all these beautiful pages of mandalas colored by different people, and I'm like, yeah, I think I can do that. I can work with that. So, got me some mandala books. So we're going to use this Goldenrod to color in the middle of our flowers. And I just used a little bit on the big flower. We're going to use a lighter color on the rest. The yellow ochre, which was a little bit too close, so I changed to lemon yellow. So no yellow ochre. We're doing goldenrod as the darkest color and lemon yellow, because those colors would have been too similar and you would not have seen contrast, the blend. So now let's work on the rest of the flower with Scarlet Lake. I think I want some kind of reddish flowers. I don't know how some YouTubers can sit and talk for an hour straight while they're coloring on a coloring chat. I just don't know how, what I don't have anything to talk about for an hour while I'm coloring with you guys. Do you think I should add some music and like speed it up when I don't have anything to talk about? And then like when I have something to talk about, I'll stop it and I'll be like, hey, no more music. Let me tell you something. All right, now let's get our Spanish orange and do the top part of our flower. Let's give it a little Sharpie sharpen. That wasn't sharp enough. Now that is a perfect Prisma point right there. All right, we got something to talk about now. All right, clear my throat. There are so many out there that absolutely love long, sharp points on their Prisma pencils. Okay? And okay. I used to, they're beautiful when you have them sharpened like that. Oh, they are so pretty. But I noticed that if I use my Prismacolor pencils with a point like that, they will break off, snap off every single time, no matter how light I press on the page. We have switched over to permanent red. No matter how light I press on the page, that lead still snaps on me every single time. I don't know why. I don't know how. But I was getting frustrated with my Prisma pencils because of this fact. So I said, wait a minute. Okay, what's going on? What's really going on? Why is my lead snapping? And all these other people that's on YouTube in different places, they have these long leads on their pencils and theirs isn't snapping. What's wrong with me? Well, I figured out even when I thought I was being light-handed, I wasn't. It's just in my DNA. It's just in my blood. It's in my coloring blood. Even my light hand is heavy, okay? So I said, well, how can I rectify this situation? What's the solution to this? Because I can't have these $100 pencils snapping on me and I keep having to sharpen them into a nub. We need to figure out something different. So I said, okay, when they come out of the package, when you get them brand new, fresh, brand new, they have a short point on them, right? So I said to myself, maybe that's the way that they intend for us to use them, huh? Okay, self, go find a pencil sharpener. And I'm using the yellow orange again to go over all of my stuff. And see, I'm changing directions right quick. Okay. What I usually do when something isn't looking blended correctly, I just go back in on top of that pencil work and just add whatever else it needs. We have the Spanish orange again. That's why I love Prismacolor, because you can color on top of colors and still see it, and it's just, they blend easy. They're easy to work with. Okay, back to the story. So I said, okay, Nisi, find a pencil sharpener, excuse me, that can sharpen your I'm getting tongue-tied again. A pencil sharpener that can sharpen your Prismas with a short point. The first sharpener that I found is, I think it was the Beauty K pencil sharpener from Sally's Beauty Supply. It was intended to sharpen like eyeliner pencils. And you know, your eyeliner pencils, they're super, super soft. And they, this is permanent red again. They usually give the eyeliner pencil that you're sharpening a short point. Only a short amount of the lead is exposed, and only a short amount of the wood is exposed, because eyeliner pencils are very, very soft. The leads are very soft. So you'll never find an eyeliner pencil sharpener that sharpens a super long tip on the lead, because not only will you poke your eye out and be blind, but it will break because it's so soft. So I said, wait a minute, okay, maybe this will work for the Prisma pencils, because they're almost as soft as an eyeliner pencil, if not the same softness, right? So I got that pencil sharpener, and it sharpened my Prismas with a short lead, and OMG, that was the answer to my prayers. That was the key to my success. From then on, I had no more problems with my Prismas breaking on me as I was using them. So then I moved on. We have Spanish orange. Then I moved on to finding different pencil sharpeners that did the same thing. And I ran up on the Staedtler 2-hole metal sharpener. And I used the big end to sharpen my Prismacolor pencils, and it gave a short tip. And that was it. That was the answer to my problems. I solved all my problems with that one little change in my life. Solved all my Prisma problems. So now I have no breakage. I can even sharpen pencils that have the whole lead, the whole barrel with a big split down the middle. I can even sharpen those pencils with a short lead. And even though that pencil may be broke on the inside, I still can use it very well, because a lot of the lead isn't exposed. So, yeah. Let's get us some Canary Yellow and blend. Let that be our lightest color, and blend our flower. Now, sometimes I do like light to dark, just sometimes. But I know you may be looking at this like, man, that blend is like not on point. That blend is like too stark and too like, it's not blended well. I know you may be saying that right now. But actually, what I'm doing right now is going back in, and I'm going to do like the whole process like over again. So I guess that kind of means that I am using like 2 layers. But when you use a more heavy-handed layer, it's harder to put more color on top, but it's still possible, okay? So I'm doing it like I'm going on top of my first layer with medium pressure. Then I'll just use the lighter pencils to try to bring that blend down. But sometimes I actually we have the mineral orange that we're coloring the little dots in the flower with. Sometimes I want that dark, stark contrast with my colorings. Like I don't want the seamless blended look sometimes. And sometimes it's just a mistake. You know, I just go, oops, that's not blended well. Oh, well, it's just going to stay like that. So now I'm taking my black Prisma, I'm getting it sharp. And you see I'm using the big end. And you have to stick it in. It's a certain way you have to do it. You have to stick it in straight, push down firmly, and then twist it. And it sharpens that perfect short point on that larger hole end. So like I mentioned before, someone had mentioned, you know, is there anything else you use to like sharpen up your lines? Or as I like to say, crisp up your lines other than the black Prisma pencil? And she said because the black Prisma pencil makes her coloring object muddy, makes the colors look muddy. Well, the black pencil will only do that if it's not sharp enough. So I always make sure my black pencil is sharp enough to do my outline work. So that's the key. Make sure it's sharp. So now I want a little bit of contrast in those little leaves there. And all of the leaves that's like behind stuff. You see what I'm doing. Now, I just asked you guys, how do other YouTubers find an hour worth of stuff to talk about? I'm still talking. Interesting. I didn't know I could talk this long. I know you're probably like, Niecy, please. You can talk your head off. You can talk our ear off, please. Girl, go on somewhere with that. Well, you guys are just so easy to talk to. I mean, I can just talk about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees, and you'll be like, yeah, I had that experience with those birds and bees too. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Scarlet Lake. We're gonna go with Scarlet Lake. Now, what I try to do, I usually just throw a bunch of colors on a page sometimes, unless it's like a home decor coloring page. I will try to make sure I stick with a color scheme. But when it's flowers and leaves, like more in the beginning of my journey, I would stick just like any and all colors on the page, and I wouldn't stick with a particular color palette. But now I try to stick closer to a particular color palette so the page can look more put together and cohesive. So now we're using the Spanish orange. Now what I did was I colored kind of heavy closer to the top of those little bell looking flowers. And then I got lighter handed going down towards the end of it. And then I came over the whole thing with my Spanish orange. Now let's do the same thing down here. Same colors. Should I add like my own music for you guys? Will that be more entertaining when I don't have anything else to say? Should I just like hum or like give you some like music to entertain you? Like shooby dooby doo. Like I can sing to you guys, right? Da 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 da. No. Okay. No, we're not gonna do that. Oh, but that's what's like going on in my brain right now. I'm hearing show tunes in my head. Okay, all right. So now we're going to get our apple green. And we're going to use that one and the yellow chartreuse. Okay, so I don't have to use my like country accent for the chartreuse. I can use like a French native accent, like chartreuse, or is that Spanish? One of them. I love Spanish, guys. Oh my goodness, that's like my favorite language. It's like the language. I know you say Italian is like the language of amor, but I think Spanish is like the language of amor. Like when you roll the tongue, it just feels so good on your palate. Just roca, flor. We're painting flores. Okay. I must be getting sleepy. It's so hard for me to sit down and color an entire image. I usually take like I'll color for 10, 15 minutes, then I'll get up and go watch TV. Like, I think that's like attention deficit, like disorder, like ADD. I know I have, because I just cannot like concentrate on one thing like for too long. But yeah, how many are you are like that? Put it in the comments below if you feel me on what I'm saying to you. It's usually hard for me like to color a whole image in one sitting. I have to go take a break and do something else and get my mind off of what I'm doing and do something else and then come back to it like 20 minutes later. So we have our grass green again. And we're going to use the same color combination as we did in the above leaves. So that's one of our color combinations, guys. I'm going to try to notate that. Our grass green, then our apple green, then our yellow chartreuse, or how do we supposed to say it? Chartreuse. Yeah, I like that one better. I like chartreuse better. There's that chartreuse. There you are. I love you. I love saying your name. If I had a kid, would I name it Chartreuse? No. I would not. I would not do that to my unborn child. Her name would be Niecy Jr. Why can't women have juniors? I know you can like name your child like if I wanted a Niecy Jr., I would have to name her like Niecy May or Niecy Lynn for her to be like a junior. Why can't we have like Niecy Jr., Niecy Wells Jr.? Yeah, why can't we be like that? Why do only the men get the privilege to name their sons a junior and we don't have any junior capabilities? See, that's what you get, guys, when you are forced to partake in a coloring chat with Niecy. You get conversation subjects like that. Oh my goodness. Anywho. We are darkening up our shadows and our shading areas, shadow areas. It may not look like that color is like going down like really well. I'm trying to erase that green off of that flower, but it's not really working. But it may look like you're not seeing a lot of that darker color on top of the flowers. We're going to do dark green on these flowers because they look a little bit different. But it's going down, trust me. You'll see at the end of the video when I insert the finished picture. You will see that later. So I want to tell you guys what pencil I will be using next. I think I will use the green grass. Yeah, that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to do this flower or this leaf here a little bit differently. As you see, I am kind of leaving like a space in the middle, if I can, if the leaf is big enough for me to do that. I'm leaving like a space in the middle because I plan on coming in with a lighter color, our yellow chartreuse, so that it can be, no, that's not yellow chartreuse, that's apple green. so that it can be like a contrast. But I probably should have used the yellow chartreuse. Yeah, if I had a do-over right now, I would have used the yellow chartreuse because that apple green is not quite enough contrast as I would have liked. I wish I had used the yellow chartreuse. Anyways, we're going to go in our shadowed areas with the dark green. So guys, comment down below, what are your struggles in your coloring? Do you feel that blending, shading, layering, highlighting, you know, do you feel that that's your biggest struggle? Or choosing colors, coming up with a color palette? Do you feel that's your biggest struggle, or do you have multiple big struggles? Comment down below and let me know what they are. I would love to know so that I can know which direction I should take, in the next few videos that I make. So I just used the green grass and the yellow chartreuse. Now I'm coming in with the dark green to give us some shading and shadows on our leaves. All right, so now let's work on this flower with a little goldenrod. I'm trying to stick with only a set amount of pencils and just kind of use those same pencils in different ways on the pages so that we won't have to keep, getting different pencils out of our pencil case. We can just take out a few number of pencils and just work with those. I used to not really see the value in that, but now I do. I see the value in just, using a small amount of pencils on a page to make the page more cohesive. I don't have a problem with that when I'm using, like when I'm coloring like a home decor or a nature page, or like coloring people. All right, let me get this sunburst yellow and color this outside of this flower. Just straight color it. But yeah, I don't usually have a problem, but when I'm like coloring something with multiple items, like different types of flowers, different types of leaves, I used to just throw all kind of different colors on it, and then at the end of that, it would look like it wouldn't really look very, very, very cohesive, if that makes any sense. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, yeah. So now with this page, I tried something different. I just tried to do like a very small amount of color choices, pencils, different pencils. And we'll see how that works out. Now we have our lemon yellow as our lightest color. All right. There we go. Now let's take our black pencil. sharpen up those lines a little bit. All right. Okay, that's good enough. Went outside of the lines a little bit with a little bit of that green, but oh well. It'll be okay. So that's done. We're going to call that done. So now let's move on to our next one. So we have a little bit of Canary Yellow going on right here. And I'm still, doing like medium pressure at the bottom, and I'm getting lighter as I get closer to the top. And I'm just going to take my white pencil, which is a teeny tiny little baby, and just color the tops. Take that color on, try to push it up towards the top. And just a little tip, if you want to leave an area kind of white, make sure you color that area in with some white, because if you go over it with with some pastels, it's going to color that area. But if it has some colored pencil on that area, like white colored pencil, then it will resist, the white pencil will resist whatever pastels that you use. So make sure you have enough pastel. I'm sorry, not pastel. Make sure you have enough pigment of whatever color, whether it's white or whatever. Just make sure you have pigment all over your page before you use pastels. So we got the apple green that we're going to just use to just straight color our little vines and stems. And if you didn't see me use that Spanish orange, I think that was Spanish orange, or was it yellow orange? It was one of those oranges. Rewind if you need to know which orange it was. But it was one of those oranges we used on the bottom of those flowers that I just did with the lemon yellow. I used that at the very bottom as like my little darkest color. As like my little shadowy color. All right, we have our dark green. Although now I realize these should have been like the buds of those like little bell flowers. So I decided to come over them with my Scarlet Red to make them look like, you know how when a flower is just budding and it's like green all over? That's what those are doing right now. I said, wait a minute, those should have been just Scarlet Red. And then I thought about it, wait, they're unripe flowers. They can be green. So now we have our apple green, and we're going to do these leaves here, just like a lighter color. So we're going to use the apple green, and the yellow chartreuse. All right. So now we'll use the apple green to just straight color all of these little leaves here. And here. And here. Now let's take our Scarlet Lake and start on these flowers. So we straight colored the sides, and now we're going to use that same color to use a lighter layer or a lighter hand in the middle section. And we're going to use a second color for these. All right, so we have our Spanish orange that we will just go over everything, and we will do the same thing to the other side. Now let's take our Canary Yellow and just straight color these little flowers here. Now let's get a little bit of Spanish orange and just put a little bit on the inner part of the flower. Okay, so now we're going to color the inner part of this flower with our lemon yellow. And we're going to use our Crimson Lake, which is a little bit darker red. And we're going to color a few of the petals. I think I'm going to go and drink me a cup of coffee after I'm done with this flower. How many of you are coffee drinkers? Comment below what's your favorite brand of coffee and flavor. I'm a flavored coffee kind of girl. I like, the vanillas and hazelnuts. I mean, like the actual coffee grain, the beans, the coffee beans, the actual beans of the coffee. I like for them to be flavored, and I like my cream. Like plenty of cream. I don't put sugar in it, but I drink cream. No, I drink coffee with my cream because it might be almost as much cream in my coffee than coffee. So we have the Scarlet Lake. And we're going to do a little bit lighter color for those tips, the tip end of the flower. So we have our Spanish orange, and we're going to use that to just blend over our entire flower. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Have our Crimson Lake, starting with the Crimson Lake. So back to this coffee situation, guys. Do you like your coffee black, or do you like it's sweet and creamy? I used to drink, my coffee black, but I'm like, that's no fun. It's not fun to drink it black. You're only getting the health benefits. You're not having fun with it. Like, it's not a treat anymore if you just have it black. But Scarlet Lake, I probably need it black. I do not need all that extra sugar, and I'm hype enough without it. So, but I'm just bad. I can't help it. I want it to be a sweet treat. And that's what it ends up being after I'm done with it. After I'm done adding all my skinny syrup and cream. I don't add extra sugar because I don't like the way that tastes. No extra sugar, just the other things to make it sweeter. So we have our Spanish orange again. And our not dark green, I'm sorry, green grass, because I forgot this leaf. And I know you're probably yelling at me. And then this is the apple green. Niecy, you forgot a leaf. Now we have our dark green. Here we go. Now we're going to do a little Crimson Lake with these petals of the flower here. So guys, comment below whether you like for like color along videos. I'm using Canary Yellow. Do you like color along videos to be like one part but super long? Or do you like them to be like moderately long, like maybe an hour, and then have a second part to them, like a part two? So comment below which one you prefer. Like if it takes 2 hours to finish a picture in real time or 3 hours, do you like that divided in parts? Well, I wouldn't do a 3 hour long video. I would do like an hour long at tops at the most, like this one. But if it takes me an hour to complete an image, do you like it? Or if it takes me an hour and a half, say, to complete an image, would you watch an hour and a half long video? Or would you rather it be cut like in half in like 45-minute 2 parts videos or something like that? Or third option, do you like speed coloring and like Chris Chang does her videos, just kind of speed through it and kind of just tell what you're coloring with and still maybe have voice commentary? I don't know. Just tell me what you guys like in the comments below. What's your preference? So we're going to just straight color with Spanish orange. These little flower thingies here. And the same thing on this side. Now let's take our mineral orange and do the middle section of all of these flowers. All right. I had to fix something up there, something that I missed. Now let's get our permanent red. Nah, poppy red. I did enough with you, permanent red. Let's get poppy red and do these flowers. I probably could have used permanent red, but nah. Just leave a little white area if you can. so that we can come in with another color. But these little small ones, we're just going to straight color those. Okay, so since I'm going to be doing quite a bit of these leaves here, I mean, not leaves, flowers, uh, mineral, I'm sorry, Spanish orange. Since we're going to be doing quite a few of these flowers, I'm going to speed it up a little bit and give you a little bit of music while we do these few flowers here. Okay, guys. So now we are going in with our Canary Yellow and do the middle section of these flowers here. All right, let's see. I think we want to make these last few flowers a little bit darker than the rest so that they can stand out a little taste. So I'm going with the pomegranate. And I've decided not to do a background on this title page because I wanted this page for some reason to be as minimalistic as possible. I don't know why. I just feel like it just should not have like a background. It should just be flowers, pay attention to the flowers, and that's it. So my next color for this flower will be, I need more of an orange kind of color. Or pinky kind of color, magenta. Oh man, I should not have used this magenta. It's blending in too much. I looked at my color chart. I thought I was choosing the color that was a little bit more distinct than this one, but I guess not. Oh well. Well, I'm kind of liking it. Even though it looks like just like straight color, you can't really tell the color difference. It looks very vibrant. Okay, I like it. And last, but definitely not least, Canary Yellow. Our last two flowers on this page. Now let's take a little sunburst yellow and go in the inner section. And that's it. That's it, guys. What do you think? How did your page come out? Let's get a little bit of my black pencil and crisp up a couple of lines. But for the most part, that's it, guys. We've done it. We've completed an image together. So happy together. Yes, guys. All right, so just go back in and kind of crisp up any lines that may look a little like gloomy or cloudy, and just make them a little bit sharper. And you're done. You're done. That's it. That was super simple, wasn't it? I would probably go back in and just maybe crisp up a few more lines. But other than that, I mean, hey, that's looking pretty good. I think I'll go back in after I'm done with the video and put a few glitter pen accents on these areas here and on the middle of the flowers. But other than that, guys, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I really, really appreciate you guys dropping by. I enjoyed hanging out with you all. You have been just amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up, a big old like if you enjoyed this color along. Please don't forget to consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell so that you can be notified of future uploads and videos that I put out for you. So thank you again, guys. You have a wonderful rest of the day and happy coloring. Bye.